Living with social anxiety. One of the most common things that triggers social anxiety are the emotional cues people give off. Emotions like joy, anger, sadness, or excitement can oftentimes make us get anxious because of our past experiences. For example, let's say you grew up with a parent who would get angry with you for speaking your authentic opinion. Over time, this negative emotional exposure can make you feel threatened by other people, especially people who are angry, because that might remind you of times from your past when you felt rejected by someone who should have been there for you when you were expressing some of your deepest, most authentic opinions. This doesn't mean something is wrong with you or your brain. It simply means your brain is trying to protect you from things it perceives as dangerous. In this case, anger isn't the thing that is dangerous for you, but your brain is making you feel like it is because it reminds you of times when it was. In this sense, the emotions people give off can trigger feelings of threat within us because of what they represent in our mind. But anger is only one example of this happening. Joy and excitement can trigger feelings of social anxiety as well. For many who suffer from social anxiety, they carry feelings of unworthiness or feeling like they aren't good enough. Because of these negative core beliefs, being in the presence of people who seem interesting and likable might make them worry about how insignificant they feel they are. This is why positive emotions like joy and happiness can frighten someone with social anxiety. Because their core beliefs are so oriented around negative thoughts and perceptions, their mind creates almost a wall between where they want to be emotionally and where they believe they need to be emotionally. This is why, even for people who show kindness and compassion to people with social anxiety, they are afraid that other people won't like them for who they are. They might think to themselves, who am I to be so respected and liked by this individual? So it's not just negative emotions that trigger social anxiety, but positive ones as well. In addition, behaviors can also trigger social anxiety. Maybe it's a coworker whispering with someone else, or a group laughing just as you walk by. Because you have experienced things in the past where social behaviors were frequently negative, you tend to associate neutral or even positive social cues as threats even when they aren't. This is your brain trying to predict threats when they aren't even happening, and is a sign of negative past experiences that have been internalized or not worked through properly. This is why it's important to note something that I think you already know. Your anxiety is not a representation of rational cognitive thought. It is a reflection of your past experiences and how you have come to understand them over the years. It is a reflection of your perception. And thankfully, that can be changed. In future videos, I will talk about how I personally overcame social anxiety disorder. But for now, here's a list of common behavioral triggers that activate social anxiety. Another trigger for social anxiety is the way people look or present themselves. For example, let's say you were going to a family gathering and a neighbor decided to stop by and say hi to some of your family. Immediately after entering, you notice a scar on the side of his chin that reminds you of a bully you had in high school. Just after seeing this guy, you immediately turn away from him, evading a conversation with him. That's your brain doing its job, albeit in an unproductive way. It's telling you that this Until next time, take care.